Hi, welcome to TiECon 2016. My name is JJ Singh, and it's a real privilege to have Ravi Belani, Managing Director of Alchemist Accelerator. Welcome, Ravi.
Thank you, JJ.
Tell us about Alchemist.
So Alchemist is a venture-backed accelerator for enterprise startups. So unlike, do I take this? Okay. So unlike other accelerators, we're different in two ways. One is that we only focus on companies that monetize from enterprises, not consumers. And our LPs are the VCs. So we're backed by Coastal Ventures, DFJ, Mayfield, USVP, and a bunch of strategics, Cisco, Salesforce, lots of big tech companies.
So unlike, let's say, 500 startups or Y Combinator or StartX, you actually put in your own money?
No. Our money comes from the VCs. So the money that we're investing is our investors are the venture capital funds and the big corporate strategics. But unlike 500 startups or YC, we only do enterprise startups. So we only do B2B startups, and it's a longer program. So ours is a 6-month program, and the big difference is that we get you customers. So the reason why we don't do consumer startups is that our goal is to really get you procurement events. We have a Rolodex of very large Fortune 500 companies that will do procurement events with our startups, and so it's a very different program. So most of the other accelerators are basically focused on, at the end of the program, you want to get a chart where the investors can read into the tea leaves and things could sort of be growing up and to the right. For us, the product is important, but what's more important is sales, and we take deeply technical founders and we focus heavily on go-to-market and sales.
So if I'm a deeply technical founder watching in the enterprise space, how do I apply? How do I get started? How long do I be in there? And any examples of a couple of successes recently?
Yes, great questions. Okay, so just Google Alchemist Accelerator. We're at alchemistaccelerator.com. Just apply online. If you know somebody who's been a graduate of the program, the best thing is to try to get referred in. Our acceptance rate right now is around 5%, and we interview about 15% of the applicants. But we are always looking for great talent. So the most important thing is just your team and your background. You're never too early to apply. And you're never too late to apply, as long as you haven't raised more than $2 million of capital. Some of our successes is, well, my background is I used to work in venture at DFJ for 6 years, and when I was there, I was the seed investor in a company called Pubmatic, which came out of India, out of Pune, which we funded at a $4 million valuation that's now should be $500 million to $1 billion company. Also did a company called Justin TV, which became Twitch, which got acquired for $970 million from Amazon. In the accelerator, our oldest class is 3 years old, so you're going to hear about the companies probably in 2 years in terms of IPOs or exits, but we have a company called Mighty Hive that was started by the former head of biz dev for Google and the head of big data for Salesforce, which is doing very well. We have companies that have raised over 20 million from Andreessen and other very notable funds. But most of the companies, because our oldest company is only 3 years old, are still in the stage of having raised lots of money or doing very significant revenue rounds right now.
So you're at TiE and TiECon. Any comments about TiE?
I always love TiE. I always think it's like India. It's like you get the whole universe in one, and it's like a cacophony of different things that are happening. It gets bigger and badder every year, and it's always, it does feel like India. It always reminds me of just the diversity of how big Indian entrepreneurship is, and how it's more than just obviously Indians now. It's really about entrepreneurship in general, and how the greatest ideas are the ones that even the smartest minds in the room aren't thinking of. So that's what's always so humbling.
Awesome, Ravi. So glad to have you here. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for having me.